Back everyone, iOS 15.6 has officially came out, so let's go and take a look at it on the iPhone XR and see if you should go ahead and install it. Now 15.6 has been in a beta and RCs for so long now, and I'm glad this thing has officially came out, which I'm really glad to see, but do keep in mind that anytime a new update comes out, most people will end up looking at two very interesting things. One, they will look at their iPhone and see if it supports the software, but also if there's another beta in town, they will go ahead and install that beta probably as well. So in this case, the iPhone XR supports iOS 15.6 and iOS 16, and some people may look at iOS 16 as the better, more stable software. That is not the case. iOS 16 is a very, very buggy software, and I would not recommend installing it on any iPhone, including an iPhone XR. So that being said, I would recommend installing iOS 15.6, but I'll get into that in a second. This update size is kind of varying for me personally because I didn't install the beta. So when you install a beta, you end up getting it into a different type of sector. So for a lot of my iPhones coming from 54.5, it was about 4.57 gigabytes. So definitely not the biggest update of all time, but it really wasn't that small of an update either. But if you're coming from the official versions, it's going to be a completely different topic. It's going to be probably, maybe like a couple hundred megabytes or something like that. Now, one of the big things that this ended up fixing, or a feature for the most part, is within Apple TV. So now I think there's some new customizability within live broadcasting, which is really cool. Safari ended up getting a little bit of an update as well, specifically with tabs. So it's not an update, it's a bug fix. Essentially what happened is sometimes you would delete a tab and it would come back. That has now been patched and fixed with this update as well. On top of that, within our settings, this is a really, really big one. For a lot of different iOS versions, I think since iOS 15 came out, there's been a storage bug. Essentially, a lot of the, features and a lot of the things that have been coming out, a lot of the complaints within iOS 15 has been around storage. But luckily, it looks like Apple kind of addressed it. If you go into here, you click on iPhone storage. For some reason, and for some people out there, the storage would end up being taken up by a lot of different data within here. It was very annoying, but it looks like that has now been fixed, or at least has been addressed by Apple. So I'm glad they're addressing it. Hopefully they ended up fixing it. And those were really the main bug fixes. But now this brings us to the question, should you install iOS 15.6 on your iPhone XR? And what I will definitely tell you is, I think it only makes sense to install this update. I don't think it makes any sense to install iOS 16 right now, especially on an iPhone XR. Even though it's not the oldest phone of all time, it still doesn't make any sense to install beta on a phone that's approaching 4 years old now. However, if you are rocking a secondary iPhone XR, then I would recommend installing it if you want to install 16, see how it is. But if you're using an iPhone XR as your everyday device, do not install iOS 15. Do not install iOS 16. Only install iOS 15, especially 15.6. It's the most stable version of software right now, and I would recommend installing it. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.